Good Wednesday morning, the last Wednesday of the month of September, the 25th, 2024, 6:16 in the morning. You're with Garden State Weather meteorologist Robert Smith, and we are looking at the cams this morning. First thing off is the amount of cloud cover in the air here over the World Trade Center in New York City at 6:17 this morning. It is 63 degrees. Seacrest Oceanfront in Myrtle Beach, nice calm morning here, 79 degrees. Budapest in Hungary this morning, well, actually, it's the afternoon there. It's about afternoon here at 64 degrees. Beautiful Jersey City Hudson River Cam, 63 degrees. A couple ferries out there with cloudy skies this morning. And our beautiful Statue of Liberty in the New York Harbor here at 63 degrees, 6:17 this morning under cloudy skies. Brooklyn Bridge also showing that cloud cover across the region. Nice calm morning, but 63 degrees. See what else we have. Philadelphia is nice this morning. It's nice and calm, 64. Bus transit's getting on the roads, cars getting on the road to get to their early morning positions here. Uptown Skyline in Houston, Texas, this hour is 5:18 in the morning their time, 75 degrees. Toronto, Canada, there's a great view here, beautiful view here, 64 degrees this morning. New Orleans, this is interesting because there was a couple of people a gentleman on bike here. There was another gentleman coming down and opened up this trash can here looking for things and then went back down this way off Bourbon Street. Came back, had no clothes on, was a drifter, and a plastic cup with alcohol in it. It's Bourbon Street, right? And a bike rider here that was token on a Tiparillo or something and just took off in this direction. And people ask me if I want to go here. I'm not so sure. Beautiful late morning here, almost noontime at the Beatles Abbey Road crossing in London, England this morning. Cars, bicyclists, tourists here. Beautiful morning, 52 degrees. The Straits of Gibraltar in Spain. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous, actually, this morning. This afternoon, actually, their time, 73 degrees right now. And we did the Ocean Crest here. We did Budapest. And let's see what else. We did all these. Back here in the Weather Center in West Orange here at 6:20 this morning. It's cloudy, 60 degrees, feels like 58. The wind is off the ocean at about 5, humidity 76%. Visibilities are pretty good. Air pressure is still high. Dew point is comfortable at 54. The pollen is very high today, and that is about 100% here with grass, weed, and tree. Dew point's 54, humidity 76%. The wind is off the ocean at about 5 to 14 miles an hour. Air quality is good. High pressure still in control. Sunrise this morning will be at 6:48, just after this broadcast. Sunset tonight at 6:47. Visibilities are good. The moon phase is about 43%, the next full moon on October 17th, and the moon set will be at 4:15 this afternoon. Looking at your forecast today, we're holding off precipitation until later in the afternoon into the early morning hours tomorrow, and tomorrow is pretty much a washout as well. There's about a 74% chance of rain developing this afternoon across northeastern New Jersey and the New York City metro areas, and on Thursday, it's pretty much a washout with rain, so you're going to need the umbrellas, and the pollen will still be high. And tomorrow's going to be a pretty humid day, too, so temperatures getting close to about 78, mid and upper 70s across the area. Friday, mostly cloudy skies. We're doing okay on Saturday right now. Sunday, this looks okay, but again, southern reaches away from New York City could see rain and cloudy skies this weekend. We'll get into that in a moment. And temperatures averaging near to slightly below average as we head into early next week, which is October already, right? October 1st starts next Tuesday. Unbelievable where time goes. And from the Rutgers University Meteorology Program at Cooks College, it is 64 degrees with a southeast wind at about 4 to 6 miles an hour. Warm temperatures obviously around the coast at 67 in both Cape May, West Cape May, Atlantic City, Woodbine, and Fortescue. Cooler temperatures this morning, 51 in High Point, 54 in Vernon Township, Wantage 55, and Charlottesburg at 57. Other area temperatures this morning at 6:22 this morning. Here it's in the low to mid and upper 50s here in northwestern New Jersey. Low to mid 60s just about everywhere else. So that looks good. Daily minimums with the cloud cover, not much different. Dew point right now is basically matching pretty close to the air temperature, so the relative humidity values are pretty high this morning. And precipitation in the last 24 hours, there was basically none here. All of it was out here and down in here. And we'll get into that in a moment. And right now we still have high pressure in control. Wind speeds are kind of light, but a little bit gusty right along the shorelines here with that strong ocean fetch that's going on. The soil moisture, once again, this is very little as you get down to 50 centimeters here. So, the ground is pretty dry and the grass is burning up or just completely dry. Take a look at the latest radar here. It's a few spotty showers out here, but nothing really of consequence on the geocolor. Plenty of cloud cover building in from the south and the west this morning. Take a look at the IR band here in just a moment. And it's pretty cloudy. Depending on where you are, goes water vapor channel showing the same thing. Here is the rain in question coming up for later today and tonight and tomorrow out of our southwest here, where we've seen precipitation amounts anywhere from about a half of an inch to almost an inch in spots. And all that spotty rain from yesterday over the last 24 hours has been confined to basically central and eastern Pennsylvania, very dry here, basically no precipitation. In fact, if we looked at the last 72 hours here, it's not a lot of precipitation over the New Jersey, New York City metro area. All of it has been to the west and to the south. We don't have any watches, warnings, or advisories here for fog, but out west here, there's been quite a lot of fog, especially around the Delmarva and portions south of here. The visibilities over the New Jersey, New York City area look pretty good right now. And we'll take a look at once again, at the current air temperatures overlaid with the radar here, finding temperatures in the 50s to low to mid 60s across the region. Overlaid with the radar here, and here's our watches and warnings. We have coastal flood advisories until 11 p.m. on Thursday here, and this is basically for Ocean County. Flooding of parking lots, roads, will only isolated road closures expected, 1 foot up to 1/2 foot of inundation in low-lying areas here. So we're monitoring this, and then that extends down through this area in here. Meanwhile, we have small craft advisories in effect basically until 6 a.m. on Thursday morning for boaters here, with basically northeast winds and east winds coming in from off the ocean. We can see this on the live channel here from Wind Alert, showing those winds gusting here at Sandy Hook out of the east to 16 miles an hour this morning, and around some of the shore points too. And if we close this out, here is that disturbance that the National Hurricane Center is saying that this upper low here, which has been drifting out in a blocked air pattern for the last week here, has about a 20% chance of anything going on. But meanwhile, this is Helene back down in here, getting closer to the between Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula here, and we can see this is just the beginning of this starting out. GOES satellite infrared channel here shows the precipitation on a southwest flow aloft and the eastern wind barbs here coming in from off the ocean. On the aviational weather deck, basically MVFR and Stratus across the terminals this morning, basically light southeast to east winds at about 5 knots. Push back the extent of showers into the afternoon hours across the Lehigh Valley, reducing visibilities as the rain moves in from the south, the I-95 corridor, and the northern reaches will be on the northern fringe of this, so it basically make it that far east as eastern 95, east of 95, Interstate 95. For South Jersey terminals, showers may stay off to the north and west. MVFR ceilings, moderate to high confidence in this. Tonight, some showers and stratus around, resulting in a mix of MBFR, IFR ceilings, lower visibilities, and heavier showers around Reading and Allentown. High confidence in this. Winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 knots Thursday through Thursday night. VFR conditions will be yeah, especially with the stratus and showers. Friday through Saturday, mainly cloudy with periods of sub-VFR conditions possible, and along with some rain, especially around Philadelphia southward, and that's what we talked about earlier. So on the marine deck, again, rip currents today and tomorrow will be on the high to middle side. High side today for all the New Jersey and Delaware beaches, and for Thursday, again, breaking waves a bit lower, but moderate risk for rip currents again for both the Jersey and Delaware beaches. Again, rip current risk here from Long Island, eastern Montauk, all the way down through the Jersey coast and down even further than this. You can see high risk of rip currents for today and tomorrow. New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area water temperatures are still quite warm, but coming down just a little bit as we end the month of September here. In Sandy Hook, for example, the water temperature is now down to 69. But with this onshore flow and high risk of rip currents here, it would be unadvisable to go into the water, especially if you're alone, because there are no lifeguards. And of course, in the big picture this morning, it is all about Tropical Storm Helene here, which is now increased to 65 miles an hour between Cuba and just off the coast here, which we showed you of the Yucatan Peninsula around Cancun or so. And it's moving to the northwest at about 9 miles an hour. Once it gets rid of this shear that is going on to the north and west here with this upper level low, then that means that this storm is going to intensify rapidly because of the water temperatures, and we'll explain why and less shear in just a moment. And we are not done with this hurricane season yet. This wave coming in off the central tropical Atlantic, off the just west of the Cabo Verde Islands here, gradual increase up to 80% chance of this storm forming in the next 7 days and about 50% chance in the next 48 hours. So we're going to be monitoring this as well. This area here is our upper level low, which is spinning off the Jersey and northern Atlantic coast here. This has a low chance of doing anything but trying to get out of here. In the Eastern Pacific, this is interesting here because let's zoom this back here into the Eastern Pacific. Let's go into the back into the Eastern Pacific here. This has the remnants of John right now, which was once Tropical Storm John, but still areas here in Mexico need to be advised that this system can still produce heavy rainfall and potential for flash flooding and mudslides over portions of southern Mexico through this week. So with Helene here, Tropical Storm Helene here, we have no emissions and Air Force reconnaissance planes going into the storm this morning. They're diving down. You can see the air flight here. And we're reporting stronger winds here as we get closer to the center of the storm. And they're placing some drop zones, but they haven't placed any yet for that mission. There's an Air Force reconnaissance plane, en route right now from Louisiana into the storm. And we'll get better data on this coming up in the next few hours. Air Force earlier, mission number 9 into Helene, low-level reconnaissance shows the stronger winds. Central pressure now down to 985 millibars. It's still disorganized. It's not a closed center yet, but the convection is still all off, and the higher winds are all off to the north and east of the storm, and they made plenty of drop zones here. So if we take a look, let's take a look at satellite imagery for Tropical Storm Helene right now. This is the IR channel, bright channel here. So it's showing a lot of convection on the northeast and east side of the storm right now. It's trying to fight off some dry air on the water vapor channel here with the trough to the west, but it is starting to show signs of organization in this channel between the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba, and it's getting a better outflow boundary here to the north and east where high pressure is off the coast. So this looks good if you want a storm system to develop into a major hurricane here for portions of the west coast of Florida. So with Helene right now, still a tropical storm, expected to become a hurricane in just a few hours, if not by early tomorrow morning here over the Gulf regions, and then a major hurricane as it strikes the southwestern portions of the Panhandle or the northwestern portions of the Panhandle of Florida, then becomes a depression lingering with this upper level low here, and then causing mayhem in the forecast this weekend across southern mid-Atlantic area. But Helene is forecasted to intensify to be near hurricane strength as it passes northeast coast of the Yucatan Peninsula during the next several hours, where hurricane watch and warning actually is now in effect. And it's expected to intensify and grow, so there is a danger of life-threatening storm surge west coast of Florida Peninsula, Florida Big Bend. Highest inundation levels are expected along the coast of the Florida Big Bend. And so that's quite obvious. Damaging hurricane force winds expected along portions of the coast of Florida Big Bend. Hurricane warning is now in effect. We'll touch that in a minute. So, you got heavy rains, you got storm surge. Let's talk about arrival time of winds here. So basically, here's our tropical storm right now. It will become Hurricane Helene very shortly. And you can also see this cone right here of the earliest reasonable arrival time of tropical storm winds. Now, storm surge. Let's get into storm surge here. Well, the wind probabilities look pretty good here. And of course, the potential rainfall is going to be quite heavy in these regions here. And then when it gets onshore and gets cut off in this upper level low, the upper level low that is in effect, will produce some widespread heavy rain and flash flooding potential, especially in Texas, especially in the Panhandle of Florida and into the Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley. Peak surge. This is what's important here because 5 to 10 feet, 10 to 15 feet here on the west coast here. And regardless of this, the onshore flow is going to be immense across even the eastern portions of Florida as we move through the next couple of days. National Hurricane Center on Tropical Storm Helene, again, over the Yucatan Peninsula, our favorite spots, right? It's going to, we have a hurricane warning in effect right now. This is going to become a major hurricane as we get into the Gulf regions, and there are, hurricane warnings here all the way from portions of the Panhandle all the way down to Lake Melbourne, Florida here. And then hurricane down into a depression, gets caught up in this upper level low, and we're going to figure all of this out. The model track from all of the guidance here, thank you, Levi Cohen from Tropical Tidbits, for showing us this. This is the general track now, just slightly west of where we were on the initialized channel here as of September 25th, which is this morning at 1 a.m. And if we get into the GFS ensembles, it's showing that cluster being in the same direction here. So there you go.